to the third and final topic, which is Game of the Decade. We're going to do this differently. At the end of each episode, we are going to do a part dedicated to figuring out what is the Game of the Decade. That is 2010 to 2019. Explain to the people at home why we're choosing 2010.
Well, our calendar is based off of Jesus being born, which then would make it 0, hence how old he was when he was shoved through the vaginal canal.
Of Mary. I've never heard the terminology of that, but yeah, sure.
So, yes, the year started as 0, and then, boom. Yeah, here we are. So, it starts at 10. There is a year 0, people. Relax.
Okay. With that out of the way, we are starting from 2010. Here's how things are working. Before the episode starts, we'll pick a select couple of games that we will then discuss here as a part of the bit, then discuss which game deserves to be the game of that specific year. So in this episode, episode 33, we are going to be talking about the year of 2010 and what is the best game that came out in 2010. By the way, there are a lot of really good games that came out that year. In no particular order, here are the games that we have selected to talk about today. Halo Reach came out September 14th. Mass Effect 2 came out January 25th. Heavy Rain came out February 23rd. Fallout New Vegas came out October 19th. Skate 3 came out May 11th. And Red Dead Redemption came out May 18th. Those are some really good games.
Yeah.
And especially since I have now played them since those games have come out. I didn't play them that year, but I've played most of those games at this point. Ashton, out of curiosity, I'm going to just rapid fire them again. Halo Reach, played yes or no?
Yes.
Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
Heavy Rain.
No.
Fallout New Vegas.
No.
Skate 3.
Yes.
And Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Okay. With that said, let's start with Fallout New Vegas and Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain I actually just recently played. It is now ported to the PlayStation 4. Those developers have made games since then, a.k.a. Detroit was their latest and greatest creation, and I think now they're going to be making Dreams. I think that's the same.
Dreams.
So Heavy Rain is a detective choose-your-own-adventure, quick-time event-y sort of game, and it's trying to figure out who the origami killer is. And your whole mission is to figure out who's this person killing all these children. And it also came out with one of the biggest memes in video games, which is Jason. And so there's like, you got him. So there's a lot of things that came out of that game. It's very good. It's a very good story. Game-wise, not a lot of game going on. It's more of a movie you interact with. So I'm willing to secede Heavy Rain. Are we fair on that?
Okay.
Okay. The next one is Fallout New Vegas. Obsidian, the game company that we were just talking about, we gave Game of the Year over to Outer Worlds. This is one of their games, Fallout New Vegas. You did not play this game. Have you seen people play this game?
Yeah, I've seen people play it.
Okay.
I haven't seen some of the more iconic scenes, like the casinos and stuff. But I've seen like out in the wasteland. I mean, it's basically like Fallout 3.
Yeah. It was supposed to be
better
that
features.
Sort of standalone. It's not DLC. It's bigger than a DLC, so we have to. It's a full game, but not at the layer to give it like a Fallout 4 name to it. So yeah, but I did play a little bit of it as well. Not a lot, and because it hit that wall of it's not for me. This is just this world. It's cool. It's really cool, and I wish I really liked it. It just wasn't for me. Like the Fallout games haven't. But again, now that I've played Outer Worlds, I'm willing to go back and play one of those Fallout games. So I'm willing to secede Fallout New Vegas.
That's
as well.
fair. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Skate 3. EA's Skate 3, the last we ever saw of it, and then it went into this death limbo that is now foretold. We saw it all coming. It was just eventually going to go away. Skate 3. Did you play Skate 3?
Yeah, I played a lot of it.
Why don't you tell us a little about what Skate 3 was for the kids
so-
that were born in the year of 2011?
Well, so basically the skate games, if you guys know what the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games are, it's not like that. You basically control your tricks with the sticks. So it's kind of more like a I wouldn't quite call it realistic, but I mean that's as close to realistic as you're gonna get with a skate game. Because you treat the
skateboarding game.
yeah, skateboarding game. It's gonna come the closest to like, because basically the sticks are your board. You're controlling the board.
It's kind of
with
like a
that.
tech
So
deck,
yeah.
but you're using your thumb.
Well, they wouldn't know what a tech deck is either. That was before their time. Anyway,
See,
so
I
I
wrote
mean
on the bottom of your
it's pretty
screen.
cool. There wasn't like a lot of big pro skaters in there.
Rob Dyrdek was in that.
Yeah, Rob Dyrdek was in it.
Big Black was in that.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
If you tell you about my best friend.
Oh my God. Rest in peace. So I mean, the game was actually a lot of fun. They introduced Hall of Meat, which is a really cool thing where you just take as much damage as you can, and it'll show
Yeah.
you which bones you broke.
Yeah.
And that is still like in the memes today. I mean, it's still relevant in meme culture.
And that's the thing is, because this is an EA game, and you had mentioned Tony Hawk, which was Activision's game.
Right.
So this was Activision EA sort of war, something that we're now turned into the first-person shooter spectrum. But at a time, it was about skateboarding, which is weird. But that's where it was kind of shooting at that time too. But this was also
This was
a
really
skate war now as too.
really like it was in all the demos and like all
Yeah.
the stores and everything. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's all this rumor for what seems to be way too long now of Skate
Years.
4 coming.
Years.
And
yeah.
I don't think that's coming anytime soon. But who knows? E3's
Well, if they
bitch,
need to get their
so-
shares up, they will. But
Hey, you know.
which I mean, after Jedi, they might not have to. So
All right. So Skate 3,
Skate
pretty
3's,
well.
yeah.
It's still in there. It's still in contention. Let's head over to Mass Effect 2. Did you roll credits on Mass Effect 2?
no, I did not.
Okay, I did. I've played all three of them and beat all three of them, and carried all those characters through. I played on PC. So what do you think of Mass Effect 2 as of the stuff that you've played?
I think it was a lot of fun. I like all the decisions you get to make. Like, the dialogue tree is pretty massive in comparison to a lot of other RPGs. I really did like the graphics and the setting. You know, you get to kind of like choose like all these different places you can go. A lot of it's spent up in space. I thought it was pretty cool. You can the decisions you make will affect the relationships you have with other characters. And the gameplay was pretty solid. So
Do you remember who you were trying to romance?
no.
Were you trying to romance the skin suit lady? I'm going with like how they look. She had like she didn't have like a skin suit, but she had a suit
I went with the one that
that had the
with
big
nice
old.
titties.
Yeah. Okay. I
didn't pay attention to their names.
Okay. Is that Miranda? Yeah, it's Miranda. Thick. She's thick. Yeah, I didn't like Miranda because I thought everyone chooses Miranda because she's the sexy one. She's supposed to be the one that you oogle and ogle over and that you want to stick your thing in her thing and go to town. But then you find out about her backstory, and I wasn't about that. I didn't like her backstory. Jack was actually the person I romanced. Who did you romance? God damn it, Nate.
You
chose
romance
Miranda.
yeah.
I chose Jack because, like I said, to this day, it's the reason why in those RPG games, if I find a character that isn't telling me all of the backstory, I'm like, oh, I gotta know now. Like, I gotta persist, and eventually you're gonna tell me, because that's what Jack does. Jack will not tell you anything unless you keep persisting her, and eventually she will reveal that she was like this space pirate, and she had a boyfriend, and her boyfriend like gave her life, and he thought she'll never love again, and this whole thing. And so like her actual like love scene is just her being with you. That's like her connection, as opposed to everyone else is just you're just plowing, going to town. But yeah, most people choose Miranda. Yeah, but Mass Effect 2 was a great story. I think it's the best Mass Effect of the trilogy. and just because the first one's a lot of RPG stuff, the 2 really gets like the gameplay and the RPG mix really well, and then 3 is more of like the story's good, but I definitely think it leans more towards like mechanical stuff. I don't know. I think I like 2 more, even though Ashley's not in 2. Well, she's technically in 2, but Ashley was the one I chose for 1 and 3. But she leaves because she hates you. So anyway,
What a bitch.
a lot of people do think that she is. A lot of people think she's racist too. But again, one of those characters, you can change their mind. So I'm just telling you. Next one is Halo Reach. Halo Reach came out that year as well in 2010. Also, just recently got added to the Master Chief Collection for some reason. Now it's just called they should just rename it now. They should just call it the Halo Collection.
Yeah, because Master Chief isn't that one yet. Yeah.
Unless, he's not in it. So that's, But
You can wear his armor in multiplayer.
that is true. He's also in like the background in one of the scenes. But what would you... Now, I never finished Reach. I will admit that.
I did.
What do you got to sell this one? What's going on? Why should Reach be the defining game of 2010?
Well, because it was an untold story of shit that wasn't just... You're not following the same war. You're getting a break from the ongoing Master Chief story. This Noble Six team, it's 6 fucking Spartans that are... They have their own weird attributes and way different armor styles. They stick out. Mm-hmm. You look at the cover art, it's pretty amazing.
Well, some of those characters actually got brought into Gears 5 recently for multiplayer. So.
Yeah, and Halo 5 for their armor skins as well. So, they're pretty iconic, and they've stayed with the community for a long time. That game did have the most customization in any Halo game to date. That's Halo 5 included, because Halo 5, all of it is loot boxes, and a lot of it didn't get added till later, and a lot of their shit's trash. But Halo Reach, you can customize each individual shoulder armor piece, your helmet, your visor, your chest piece, your kneecaps. You can literally customize yourself like no other, just period. No other customization's been better than Halo 5, in Halo in general.
Reach, yeah.
And
Halo Reach
is the best. Forge was also crazy overhauled. That was the biggest jump in Forge that they ever did. They added Forge World, which was basically this giant map that had mountains and stuff on it that you could forge anything you want. Custom games really came alive. Multiplayer was really solid. First Halo with Sprint, even though it was a perk.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was a weird button too.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
left bumper.
Left bumper. Yeah,
left bumper. You had jetpacks. You had a role that you could do if you were an elite. You had to play as elites, so that's cool. That was the last game that did that.
Yeah, it was the last one.
Yeah. It was a good time for Halo. It was a good time for Halo. A lot of people were torn on it because it played too much like Call of Duty or whatever. That was like the big argument back in the day. Now sprinting is just a thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it also won an award for its movement.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it for best movement in a game in terms of running and animation. So it won that award. I remember that. They were known for their sprinting mechanic, how the Spartans looked when they ran. So really, really cool, really innovative game. Definitely one of the top contenders for me.
Okay.
And multiplayer was solid as fuck.
Yeah, I only ever played a couple hours of it. Never really got into Reach. I appreciated it, but I wasn't really into Halo at the time. I was still kind of... well, that's a lie, too. Multiplayer Halo 3 was like the game I played a lot.
Right.
But Call of Duty was starting to get on the scene, starting to get its popularity rising up, because it was just every year it was getting more and more popular. So, and at that time, it was really popular. So, yeah, because it was 10th grade. 10th grade was 2010.
I would recommend that you play through it. It is a tragic story.
I know, and I know kind of the ending to that as well.
Think of like Gears of War tragic.
Yeah. The last game that we recommended here was Red Dead Redemption, or we put on the docket was Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. That
came out that year. Also, Undead Nightmare came out later in the year, which was it was also a really good expansion. Also, Episodes of Liberty City for GTA 4 came out that year as well, but that does not count because it does kind of count, but it's DLC. So we didn't put it on the list.
Yeah.
Because Ballad of Gay Tony was really good DLC. To this date, still one of my favorite DLCs ever in gaming. But nonetheless, Red Dead Redemption came out in 2010, and yeah, what a freaking game.
That was a blockbuster hit right there, 100%.
The thing about Red Dead is, as soon as it was that moment, it's that moment that we talked about in Outer Worlds that I was trying to hit on, was it made me want more. It made me like spaghetti westerns. I started watching spaghetti westerns after I beat Red Dead because I didn't want to leave the world. I liked it so much, even at the ending of what you get to see what John Marston does. And then just last year, 9 years later, or no, sorry, 2018 was when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. So 8 years later, Red Dead comes out. Red Dead Redemption 2, 8 years separated between each other.
Man, and the graphics were so good on it, especially for its era. Oh
yeah,
my
it's a little
God. Now
hard to look at now, but it does run Xbox One X enhanced on if you do have an X.
Yeah.
I guess we can't say that anymore. If you have a One X, you can get the One X enhanced of that, so you can play in 4K and whatnot. But yeah, it is really cool to see that game when it came out. It was I took a chance on it, because that was the time when you still kind of just talked around the schoolyard. You didn't really go on the forums. They talked about it on G4. I don't know. When did G4 end? 2011? 2000? I don't know.
Oh, rip G4, man.
But the thing is my gaming source was G4, and the fact that now it was kind of going away, it was either gone or going away. The notion of finding new games was literally going at the store and seeing, oh, the game looks cool. That looks cool. Like seeing the little game trailer at Game Crazy, or that was at Hollywood Video, or going to Blockbuster. I don't know if they play game trailers, or GameStop or things like that, and seeing that, and you're like, whoa, that's a cowboy game. I don't know about cowboy games, and because it's very unique. There's not very many cowboy games that are good. So yeah, I think Red Dead Redemption was really good at the time.
Yeah,
it still is. I played it recently, a couple of years ago.
It's a really, really good sequel to Red Dead Revolver, which was from the PS2 era. And
I do have that.
Lucky.
I have that too.
Graphics are terrible, but it was such a good game. Really good story. Really good story. Boss battles, which actually did not make a return in the Redemption series, which I'm kind of upset about. But Red Dead Redemption. I spent a lot of time on that game. Free roam. It was one of the first games that I actually played consistently in free roam. You know, GTA 4 had it. You can just roam around the entire world with your friends and random people. Red Dead Redemption is the first one where I actually got into it and also hit max rank. Got my zebra donkey. I was good to go. You know, you want to get all the characters unlocked. The story was amazing. For its time, its graphics were amazing, dude. It was setting a new standard, and it did. So, beautiful game, beautiful scores. Really, really good game.
Yeah, I mean, even, Undead Nightmare is not added onto this, and it can't really be added to this, but a standalone sort of DLC was something that Rockstar was kind of the only ones that were doing it at the time. So when they did this whole thing of where you can get these the horsemen of all of the apocalypse, you can get all the horses from the apocalypse, and you can also get a unicorn, and you can go on this mission of Sasquatch, which was always an Easter egg in GTA, up to 4, and then GTA 5 eventually did go back to that Easter egg that was always the rumored thing. You go in the woods at this specific time, you'll find Sasquatch. He's not in those games except in Red Dead and in that. But it turns out, I don't want to spoil the ending of that thing if you ever do play the DLC, even though it's a long time ago. But I do implore you to go play Undead Nightmare if you get a chance. You get to find out why there aren't that many Sasquatch around. So it was really good. It was a really good game, and the story was something that I constantly played. I played that game from beginning to end in very Not very long. It's kind of like L.A. Noire to me, which is another Rockstar game. When I love a game so much, I will not put it down. I will play it from beginning to end, especially at that time because I was a kid. So obviously whatever game I got is what I got for a pretty long time until birthday or Christmas happened. And unfortunate for me, my birthday's in March and Christmas is in December. So there's like a very big gap and also a very short one. So that game just really is really good. And the ending scenes to that game add emotion that a lot of games can't do very well. And it just does it so well. The characters, John Marston was a cool, badass cowboy.
Yeah.
That you just went on this magical adventure in the Wild West. And it was really well
written.
Well written. I was taking the R and switching it with W for whatever reason.
Dyslexia happening.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think it comes down to this. I think we're going to pick 3 games from this list, okay? And then
I think we just need 2 based off the amount that we talked on these last 2.
But this is what we're going to do. You pick 3 games.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick 3 games. And then we're going to narrow that down to see if we matched up on stuff, okay?
All right. Reach, Skate 3, Red Dead.
I'm going to go Mass Effect, Red Dead, Heavy Rain. And I think that answers it. I think Red Dead Redemption is the game of 2010, of this journey now. Now, the next steps to what is going to happen next. Red Dead Redemption does win our 2010 selection, the iconic game of that year. The rest of the episodes that are going to come out the next couple of months, we're going to take that third topic and we're going to dedicate it to this part. So, next episode, episode 34, we will talk about 2011 and pick the game that we think is the best game of 2011. When all these games are picked, 10 games up to 2019, we will take them and we will condense that down into who is the game of the decade.
Now,
Make
guys,
sense?
remember, a lot of these games are going to be cheap because they are old, or they'll be on Game Pass.
Yes.
So if you need to get cultured, you need people to tell you to play these games, play them, man.
Play all the games we just said. All
Yeah.
those games are amazingly fun games. I think Skate 3, well, it was for a really long time. It was on Game Pass. I don't know if it's still there. I think it's backwards compatible. So I think you can get that. Mass Effect series, those are all available on Xbox and on Origin because they're all available on Steam and stuff. What else is there? I don't think there's really any. Halo Reach is now available in the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas is a part of Game Pass because I think majority of the Fallout games. Maybe I might be misquoting there. Fallout New Vegas is available wherever you can get it. It's pretty wide available. Heavy Rain is only on PlayStation, but there is a PS4 remake. I did play that. It is amazing, and it does look very, very good. So these games are all available. They're all amazing games. I think it's well worth it. Like you were saying, they're cheap. Go play them.
Do it.
Do it now. That will be it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap things up. If you guys want to put your favorite game of 2010 down in the comments, not description, in the comments, feel free to do so. But this has been Bitcade. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me at Ryan A. Moore on all social media. You can follow him.
Ashton_Stom on Twitter.
And you can check out the random video that will be popping up at the end card here. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you check out the links in the description below where you can check out mixer.com/Primal Target, where this gentleman will be live streaming Wednesdays to Fridays on the normal regular schedule.
Evenings,
but maybe, if he gets a little frisky, sometimes he goes a little bit. But you know how you can figure out when he's going to be streaming? How can they figure that out?
Oh, Twitter, dude.
Yeah, Twitter. Dude, at Primal_Target. Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's down in the description. You can just give it a little click and follow.
Yeah.
We post other shit on there too.
Please hit subscribe wherever you are listening to this. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell button to get notified when videos get uploaded. Sometimes YouTube gets all jumbled and our videos don't pop up on your feed. So
algorithm does not like us.
Yes, so please hit the bell button because I had that problem a little while ago on my mobile device. So
maybe
it does happen.
Swear.
I don't know. But also, if you are listening the audio version of this over on iTunes or on Podbean or wherever you are getting this, please hit subscribe and also review. If you give us the 5 stars or wherever the rating is, it helps us. It actually puts us in the feeds of other people, and they will get to do it. So it's kind of like you just tap the 4 to 5 stars or whatever you want to rate us, and it will then put us in theirs without you doing anything other than just tapping stars. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Nothing else that you got to do. Boop, boop. Done. Algorithm begins. And that's going to be it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next Bitcade.
Bye.